Yo, 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 traders, how are we? Welcome to the live stream. Hope you're all well, wherever you are in the world. Guys, we are going to do the following in today's live stream. We're normally on here for about 45 minutes, so come and get involved, leave a question. But before that, we are going to do the following. We're going to show you a couple of trades that we had since yesterday. We've had two winners since yesterday, and we're going to share both of them so you understand the strategy and how and why I entered them. There is no secret sauce. It is price action. And also, guys, we are going to show you a couple of setups that are potentially setting up now as well. So we're going to do that. We're going to take a quick look at the news. There is building permits coming out at hour. It's not a biggie, right? But we'll take a look at it. It could move the US dollar if this is a big miss. But yeah, not big news, guys. The big news comes later on during the day. We did have some big news coming out of Europe, and that was all worse than expected. But we haven't really seen, much negative impact on the euro. So again, not massive news today. And then finally, guys, what we're going to do, as I said, we are going to take as many of your questions as possible, right? So don't be shy. Come say hello. Say, Tom, what a lovely tan you have right now, because I'm quite proud of it. And leave a question, right? Anything to do with trading, we can discuss it on the live stream right now whilst we check out some trades as well. Mike, I'm glad Mike has just turned up, because before we start, Mike is a Southampton fan, and those of you who know me or been on the channel for a while, I am a Liverpool fan, and Liverpool beat Southampton 2-1. And we did get a little, well, not lucky. Well, we scored against the run of play, and Southampton played very well. But yeah, we won 2-1 in the end. And I was glad to see Isaac score. So that was all good. And to be totally honest with you, Mike, I watched the first half, which kicks off at 11 p.m. here. And then by about 11:45 p.m., I was like this. So I only watched the first half anyway. But no, Southampton looked good, mate. They done a good, gave a good impression of themselves. Right, let's look at, before we start saying hello and everyone starts coming in, let's take a look at a couple of trades that we took from yesterday. We're in no new trades yet, although we are going to look at a couple of trades as well. The first trade was pound Swiss franc sells, right? And I'm going to show you this from two perspectives. I'm going to show you it from price action, right? And then I'm going to show you it from our price action indicator. And it really highlights how easy it is to read and how it can help you with price action. So, as you know, guys, I do a top-down approach. If you don't know that by now, then you won't know that I support Liverpool either. And you won't know that I love Gal Gadot. There's only a few things you need to know, right? I trade, I support Liverpool, and I love Gal Gadot. That's it. But this is pound Swiss franc, right? And as you can see on the day chart, we were in this downtrend, okay? You don't need to be Warren Buffett. We're clearly in a downtrend, right? You can see that. Lower highs, lower lows. Okay, if you can't see that that's in a downtrend, then please check out some of my tutorials, right? You need to know the structure of the market, and the structure, as in higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, that's what tells you trend. This was clearly in a downtrend. I thought we had a little bit more room to go before we hit these last lows here, and that proved to be the case. So we had some room to move into, and we had these nice big wicks, right? Just all of these candles. This candle, big top wick, big top wick, big top wick. Say that really quickly 5 times. Big top wick, big top wick, big top wick, right? It's like red lorry, yellow lorry. Anyway, what am I talking about? But was in a downtrend, nice big bearish candles, a little bit of room to move into. That was enough for me to take the trade. And if you also look at the weekly, guys, you know, I always take a quick peek at the weekly, and the weekly had a big bearish candle in a downtrend, right, with room to move into. So it supported my daily idea. And then I enter on the H4. Again, what I show you guys is not some, you know, secret. It's price action. It's how I trade. So if we drop down to the H4, right, you can see we were in a H4 downtrend, right? Price retraced. I got a nice big bearish candle. I actually entered on the H1 candle, a little bit aggressive with the entry, started selling here, as you can see, stop loss above here, and my target was here. Got my 1:1, and I took 100% of the trade. Firstly, because there's not much room to move into. And secondly, I just wanted to recoup some of the losses that we've had this month. So that was pound Swiss franc. Now, that was me explaining it to you from a price action point of view, right? Now, the indicator we've created that we're very proud of, and I know Mike, Jim, Steen, Bass, loads of the guys, Colin, loads of the guys in the indicator room are kicking ass, right? Because let me show you why, right? Now, even if you didn't know price action, right, which you should, if you don't, slap yourself on the wrist or maybe across the face, shame on you. You need to know price action in order to get any type of decent strategy. Let me have a, this is, Mike, this is also for you. Right, any good strategy is based on price action, right? You need price action. But what our indicator does is make it mechanical, right? So you don't know anything about price action, okay? Our indicator says to you the daily is bearish. So that gives us our direction. And that means we can sell the market. Simple as that. When price, I got in on this candle, you can also see our river, right? When the river is red, as you can see, it's red. It means H4 is in a downtrend and you can sell, right? Once you get this double confirmation, what you're looking for is a bearish candle. So a bearish candle reacted in our river. We know we can take sells. We enter. We take price lower. As simple as that, guys. That's how mechanical the price action indicator is. And we've also developed it. There's 3 strategies you can use within our price action indicator. And you can choose a strategy that suits you, but it's all based on price action. You know, it is a paid indicator, but I'm telling you this because it does a lot of the hard work for you, right? If you don't understand price action, let it help you. Let it tell you how to trade, and you will slowly get into the rhythm of price action. So pound Swiss franc, lovely trade from yesterday. And I'm going to show you a very similar trade, right? But this was a buy trade, and this was Aussie dollar, US dollar. Now, admittedly, this did get a helping hand with Aussie CPI in the morning. I've got to keep drinking coffee because I've been very busy today doing non-trade related things, and they're not that interesting, really. So I'm pounding coffee. Right, again, let me show you the Aussie dollar, US dollar trade. You can see it here, guys, right? Successful trade. Now, all it is is the following. What's daily trend? Uptrend. Have we retraced into value? Yes, we have. Do we have a support level? Yes, we do. Our river is a dynamic support level. Yes, we do. Do we have bullish candles? These are bullish enough, right? I took it off this candle. That was definitely bullish enough, right? We can look for buys. If you go to the H4, right, we are looking for a break of, we're looking for a H4 uptrend. And as you can see, right, we was in this downtrend. We got to here, we've just got a little bit of sideways action, and then bang, right? We got a H4 structure break. I got a nice little retrace down to the 0.6600 level, right? I entered, stopped below this low, and took 1:1. All right. Again, I closed 100% of the trade. Right. So again, simple price action. Yeah, that's all it is. You must learn price action, guys. Very serious about this. Now, again, let me show you this, right? If you don't know price action, okay, look at our indicator, right? Bullish means we can buy. H4 was in an uptrend, means we can buy. Okay, we had a bullish candle breaking out of this level. I got a retrace, I took the trade. Right, simple as that, guys. So all the reasons I got into pound Swiss franc sells are the same reasons I got into Aussie dollar US dollar buys. There you go, guys. There's no secrets, there's no special something. It's just adopting price action rules, and that is pretty much it, guys. Right? It's as simple and as difficult as that. Right? It's as difficult as you want to make it, really. Guys, stay tuned, because I am going to give you trades we're looking at right now. We're looking at CAD yen right now. That looks like potentially a good setup, so we'll take a look at that in a minute. But before we do, let's say hello to you guys, the amigos. Luigi, hi, how are you? Hi, Rom, close enough, Luigi. I've been called worse. You did say Tom. Mike, yeah, we spoke about Southampton. They did play bloody well, so fair play. S-Zone, what do you think of gold? Is it about to crash? S-Zone, I do not predict the future. What I do is trade what the chart is telling me, so we can look at gold from a technical point of view. If anyone tells you gold is going to crash, don't slap them across the face. That's too aggressive. Tell them to get lost, right? Just say, how do you know gold is going to crash? Right? Nobody knows that. I understand those sort of questions, S-Zone, right? Like, you want to know, but nobody knows the future. Gold could go up another 100 points and then crash. Gold could crash tomorrow. Gold could crash in 3 seconds. Nobody knows, right? But what we will do is look at it and look at what the market is telling us. Pooh Poppy, how the devil are you? Jane, you Jane, me Tarzan. Sure you've heard that before, Jane, not only from me. Okay. So Pooh Poppy says here, I paper traded successfully yesterday, but I know once money is involved, I'll probably lose. So a little tip here, guys, right? So like lots of you will be learning trading, right? And you will be demo trading. And if you're learning trading, that is a good idea, right? Of course it is. Don't start doing $1,000 trades if you've been trading for 30 minutes, right? So demo trading is a good idea to a point. The problem with demo trading is you have no skin in the game, right? There's no money involved. So what I would suggest you quickly do, even if you are just learning trading, is move into trading a live account, but very small, right? You can do micro lot trades, mini lots, right? Just do really small trades and get the feeling of making money and losing money, because I've met so many great demo traders, right? I remember one Canadian guy specifically, he was on our trading floor and he was a really nice guy. I got on well with him. We went out for a few drinks and all that. It was a good lad. And he was like, Tom, I'm kicking ass. You know, you won't believe the figures on my demo account. And, you know, like I was like, okay, yeah, good. Yeah, you know, positive. But, you know, in the back of the mind, I'm thinking, you know, until you trade live markets, and ultimately until you trade live markets with a reasonable amount of money on the trade, you haven't really got into the nitty gritty of the psychology of trading, right? Because the psychology of trading is all built around losing money or making money. It's all greed and fear. And with a demo, you don't have any of that, right? And I know you trade a live account, Poo Poppy. You're just telling me you're trading demo to get back into the swing of things. But yeah, you really need to feel that greed and fear, right? Because they're two of the things you really need to overcome. So yeah, you know, okay, trade a demo, but once you get a bit of a, you know, a strategy that you know works, then trade it with a little bit of money. Yeah, I'm not a big believer in demo accounts, I must say. So yeah, there you go. Right, well, so we've got Manesse. Apologies for pronunciation. Poo Poppy, please leave a like for the indicator. Yeah, Poo Poppy, it's kicking ass. Why not? Max, how are you, Max? Max is always sharing great trades in our free Discord channel, guys. You can learn a lot from Max. So go, come join our free Discord. And Max is telling us here, so I was 1 year profitable on demo, then noticed in real, like trading real money, he was not able to go over the break-even stage for at least 2 years. Yeah, there you go, guys. So 1 year profitable, right? He's put in all of that time to prove his strategy is profitable. A year, right? Not many traders give it that long, right? You know, that is, I would suggest doing that. And then in 2 years, trading a live account, he broke even, right? He couldn't go past the break-even point. And that is all about that psychology. It really is, guys, right? You need skin in the game. No matter what you do, right? You know, it could be a business. You need a bit of skin in the game, right? Okay, so Manesh, can you help with my trading aspect? What aspect do you need help with? And we will be happy to help. Yeah, let us know specifics, and we will even create tutorials for you guys. And that goes for anyone. If you want help with any element of your trading, leave a comment or come join our free Discord and say, Tom, I need help with this, and I will create a tutorial. Right, so come check it all out. Right, we've got a few things we want to look at, but let's go back up to gold. S-Zone was saying about gold. So S-Zone was saying, is it about to crash? And as I said, none of us have a crystal ball. If you know, even on CNN or things like that, I mean, probably not CNN, but some YouTubers or people like that, but, you know, just for clickbait, they'll be like, gold is about to crash. And I just think, what bollocks, right? It's just crap. Nobody knows, right? There could be lots of fundamental news supporting the idea of a crash, but it doesn't matter. These currency pairs, commodities, whatever, they can defy fundamentals, right? But let's look at what we're looking at. Now, it's fair to say gold needs a correction. I wouldn't say it's going to crash anytime soon, But just looking at the weekly chart, it is crazy overbought. It is overextended, right? So it's not going to crash. But what it will do, there you go. See, I'm predicting the future. It could crash. Don't listen to that last comment. Editor, can we erase that out, right? But my point is, it's unlikely. But what it is looking like is that it needs a bit of a retrace, right? Wherever that may be. And this looks like a pretty good level. You know, not that often will a market move like that and for a sustained period of time, like weeks. It won't do this for weeks, right? What it will do, it will still start at the same point and finish at the same point. But what it will do is this, right? It will fart about, right? Check that in the books. Check out fart about. This is what it will do. It might even have a break here and then break back up to the upside, right? And then it might shoot up. That is what is called farting about. And that is realistically what charts do, right? Now, funnily enough, this in here is easier to trade than this, because this market here gives you areas of value that you can trade from, right? This doesn't. It just shoots off. So, you know, it's not that common for markets to do that. It's due a retrace, right? So, you know, let's say we can expect, you know, some kind of retrace. And the retrace, and what is a pretty good marker for telling you this, is the moving average 20, right? Okay, it is. And ultimately our river, right? So in the history of gold, it will always and has always retraced to our river, right? Like, doesn't matter where you know, I know you know this, but it's just understanding this point, right? It doesn't matter how overextended you think price is up here, it will revert back. It doesn't matter how extended you think price is up here, it will revert back. It just will. Now, at that point, this will also catch up with price. So it might only revert back to here. But even still, that represents better value for buying gold than up here. So yeah, you know, I've almost, I sound like, what's the word? I just keep repeating myself about gold, right? You're probably thinking, Jesus Christ, he's going on about gold again. But it's the same thing. It's overbought. There's no value. I'm waiting for a retrace, but this retrace never comes, right? I was waiting for a retrace here. I was waiting for a retrace here. I was waiting for a retrace here. It hasn't come. But that's fine. I don't have FOMO, right? I'll let it do that. Yeah. But the moment it does retrace into a nice area of value, then we're going to seriously look at buying gold, right? Gold's just defying everything. Even this US dollar strength we had recently, gold's just like, puh, what strength? And also the indices have been doing this, right? Gold and the indices are normally inversely correlated, yeah, because it's a flight to safety. It's just going kapow, right? It's like a freight train. Nothing is stopping it. Just itching my head. Okay, we did have some other questions in here as well. What else are we going to look at? Before I look at these other questions, guys, if I could please ask everyone to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and please smash the like button. Muchas gracias. Also, guys, if you look above my head, if I just break these down for you. So first of all, please check out the website, right? www.simply-forex.com. In there, you can get access to all of our premium trading education, including the indicator that I showed you earlier on, the Price Action Pro, which is kicking ass. You can get the complete trading course that I created. You can also get the VIP Trading Academy, and you can get the mentorship program where I coach you one-on-one. If you're interested in any of that, go check out the website. Also, in the middle, join our free Discord today. Why the hell not? We've got a free trading community where you can share knowledge, trade ideas, have a chit chat, talk about Liverpool beating Southampton, and yeah, just connect with other traders. So come join our free Discord. Also, guys, today's live stream is brought to you by Pepperstone. And if you switch brokers and sign up with Pepperstone today using our link, we will give you free access to the VIP Trading Academy, and we will give you a free Essential Trading View subscription. What is not to like? I'm surprised we don't have more people sign up to that promotion. Very difficult to get people to swap brokers. Can anyone give me feedback on that? Why do you love your broker so much? Please let me know. Right, what else are we looking at? Okay, so Max and Poo Poppy, yeah, talking about getting your rhythm back. Okay, we've got an interesting question here from Nero. Is that Emperor Nero, as in the old Roman emperor? It's probably been dead a while, so it's probably not him. So this is a massive problem for everyone, right? So hi, Tom. Over trading is really my problem, but can't seem to stop. Just after this, guys, I'm going to show you a trade that I'm interested in as well. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But let's answer this question, because it's a really important problem for, I was going to say, most new traders. I would say it's a problem for all traders, regardless of experience. Okay. And yeah, so over trading, right? Now, two things to combat over trading, okay, because it is a problem, and the psychology behind it is very simple. Every trader thinks if they trade more, they can make more money, and that is an absolute false fallacy. I think false and fallacy is sort of doubling up on the false, but it's a fallacy, right? It's just not true. In fact, right, in my many years of experience, the opposite is true, right? Less trades generally equals more profit, right? But it's a very difficult thing to psychologically accept, because your whole life, right, whether it's work, right? So at work, they're like, right, come on, John, yeah, let's get really productive this week. Let's crush those numbers. The more you do, the more reward you will get, right? You've been told that your whole life at work. You've been told that your whole life at school. You've been told that your whole life if you've played any sports, right? The more you practice, the more you put in, the better you'll be on match day or whatever sport you play, right? And that is a very, very difficult thing to break in your brain. Of course, right? It's so difficult. So that's the psychology of over trading, right? You think, right, the more trades I do, the more money I make. And that is false, right? The opposite is true. It's all about quality of trade. Now, ways you can stop that. But so really, over trading, you know, if you think of it very logically, over trading shouldn't be a problem, because all it is you have a very well written out trading plan. If XYZ happens, I enter. If XYZ happens, I enter. If XYZ happens, I enter. So there shouldn't be any over trading or under trading. You just trade your setup. But it depends on how vague your setup is. If you have quite a vague entry criteria, then obviously how many trades you take is quite open to interpretation, right? So the first way to combat that is have very strict entry parameters, right? And if it ticks all the boxes, you enter. If it doesn't, you can't, right? So that's one way of combating over trading, right? The second way of combating over trading is giving yourself a maximum amount of trades per day. You'll say, right, I cannot take any more than 3 trades per day, or I cannot take any more than 5 trades per week, right? If you can't do the first one, then do the second one, right? The only problem with that is you're prohibiting yourself. You might have 6 very good entries that week, but because of your I can only take 3 trades rule, you might be prohibiting profits. But that is a way of dealing with over trading. And the final thing about over trading, and this is the most common thing, is you don't have enough money on the trade, right? Let me have a quick drink. Right, you don't have enough money on the trade, right? So what you'll have, you're a new trader, right? And I don't know, you've got a 10K account, but because you're a new trader, you say to yourself, right, I'm still only going to risk, I don't know, $20 a trade, right? And, you've still got a full-time job that earns you, 5K a month, right? So $20 is nothing to you. Right, this is a problem with over trading. So what you do is you're like, oh, it's only $20, right? I'll trade it. Yeah, I'm only risking $20. Oh, it doesn't really matter. Let's take this trade and see how it plays out. And that is the worst thing you can do because it just creates bad habits, right? You shouldn't think of it in money terms. You need to think of it in percentages, right? But that's another problem. If the trade doesn't mean enough to you, you will take many trades, right? I'm trying to think of an analogy, and it was going to be a terrible analogy. Like, if one woman or one man doesn't mean enough to you, you will probably have several women or several men on the go. Ah, dear, what a terrible analogy that was. Let me go back to my point. But it's about making the trade precious enough. Yeah, every trade is precious, but if you've got $20 on it, it's not precious enough. So you need to find that sweet spot that when you lose a trade, it hurts. And that sweet spot that says, okay, I don't want to lose that amount of money. And that is a considerable amount of money to me. This trade is precious. So they're all the things I would say about over trading. And they're the things you need to overcome. And there's some of the tips and techniques you need to adopt in order to overcome it. But Nero, I love a great question like that. And I hope that answer helps you guys. Right, we're getting loads of good comments in today, guys. So really appreciate all of your comments. Okay. Poo Poppy, I tend to overtrade after I go for a good run. Yeah. So yes, that's more psychology, right? So another reason you can overtrade is, right, you're going through a bad spell and you want to get that money back, right? You will tend to overtrade to get that money back. Or, as Pooh Poppy said, you're kicking ass and you feel invincible. Then you're like, oh yeah, I'm unstoppable. And then you'll start taking more trades outside of your plan. So both can have a negative impact on overtrading as well. All right, so you need to be aware of that. You need to be aware of your mental state a lot. Yeah, and over the years, I've just become mental because of trading. Okay, so an interesting point here from Max. So depends on how much you risk. I overtrade so Max is saying I overtrade, but I trade really low. In my opinion, it's over risking that is killing traders. Again, the point I made is slightly different to that point. I appreciate your point, Max, and and we're all about sharing ideas and your point of view here. But you've got to have that sweet spot that creates enough pain. If you're trading too low in terms of risk, you'll be like, let's enter, doesn't matter. Right? You need that pain point. Right. So, S-Zone, yes, it's true. You need to have entry confluences that need to be met before entering a trade. And with time, you'll realize that there will be days you will not trade, which is also a win. Exactly. Yeah, this game is about sitting on your hands, right? It really is. PJ, hi, Tom. Could you give us an insight into how the indicator has managed such a great month thus far, but September has been a tough month for you? Isn't the indicator strategy the same as yours? Cheers. PJ, very good question as well. So the indicator is more mechanical than I am, and it has tighter parameters to enter a trade. It needs more confluences than I do to enter a trade. So the indicator has about half the amount of trades that I do, right? Wrongly or rightly, that's the reality of it. So the indicator has pretty much half the amount of trades, that even maybe less, than I make. So the indicator is working under stricter parameters in order to take a trade. And to be honest with you, I've learnt from the indicator, right? It doesn't allow you to take aggressive entries, for example, right? Now, the indicator and the strategies we have are geared up like that. Now, how you use the indicator, right? It's a flexible thing, right? You could create your own strategy from the indicator, but the indicators that are in place and the ones that you can choose have varying levels of, let's say, aggressiveness, right? As in, okay, aggressiveness is not the right word, but as different levels in terms of the amount of trade you're going to get, the frequency of trade, right? But all of those strategies actually find less trades than I do. So that is the difference between me and the indicator. So I hope that helps answer that question, PJ. Right, what else are we looking at? Yeah, and we've got the strategy selector. Yeah, so you can choose the strategy for you that is a derivative of using the indicator. Yeah, so guys, go check it out. It's such a good tool. Even I'm learning certain stricter parameters from it. So, yeah. Right, let's have a look at a currency pair. There was a few people wanting to look at, where are we? I'm just scrolling through. So let's have a look at Aussie dollar Canadian. Oh, actually, let me show you the trades that I was looking at, guys. And Aussie dollar Canadian dollar is actually one of them, right? So we like Aussie dollar Canadian dollar buys, right? Who said this one? Who is this question for? Here we go. Yusuf, how are you, Yusuf? So Aussie dollar Canadian dollar we like, right? We do. uptrend, nice deep retrace. Look at these bullish candles, right? You know, we've got potential room all the way up to here. We really like Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar buys. The only thing I'm waiting for is a pullback, right? And you can see where my alarm is. What was once resistance, when it comes back down, becomes support. And you can also see how our river will catch up with this level also, right? But this is what I'm interested in, right? So if price comes back to here, yeah, look for a bullish reaction. Yeah, something, you know, candle like this, then I think we've got a really nice trade. There's just not enough value for me to start buying up here, right? I need that retrace. And if we get that retrace, I will be buying Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar, unless there's some crazy big news coming out, right? I haven't checked the rest of the week in terms of the economic calendar. But yeah, that is a good buy trade. Yusuf, great minds think alike. And also, guys, I wanted to show you CAD yen. Now, okay, so this is setting up, guys, right? Now, the problem we have here is the following, right? Now, CAD yen, so if we start with the day chart, we are in this uptrend. Okay, I mean, even here was an uptrend, right? We come up here, bang, uptrend, still in an uptrend, creates this level, we're not sure, bang, we're still in an uptrend, right? We've had a nice deep retrace. We're in an uptrend, and I know the weekly candle is bullish, right? Last week's candle is bullish, right? So we're looking for buys, okay? Now, the problem you have here is space and stop loss, right? Because if this candle finishes like this, we've still got another 18 minutes, right? If it finishes like this, we have had a H4 structure break, right? Price came down, we've broke it again. But realistically, I'm going to look for a target here. In fact, let's go to the day chart and put a target in. So I would look to aim for that level before all these wicks start getting involved. So that would be my target, right? Now, I know it could quite easily make it back up to these highs, right? And 107.50 is probably not a bad level. But conservative target would be there. If we drop down to the H4, the problem you're going to have is this, right? Let's imagine this candle finishes like that right now, and I start buying, right? We already know the reward is that, okay? And that is 25 pips. Now, if I put my stop at 25 pips, it's only there. So let me just draw that in, right? It's there. So do I feel comfortable about having a stop loss there? Probably not. I mean, it is below this candle, right? That's one thing. And it will be below the river, which is not a bad area to be. But I would like this to happen. Okay, so that's buying the breakout, right? And this is how you would get your 1:1, right? But you're taking liberties a little bit with the stop loss, I would say. So what I would suggest is a retrace to here, right? And then we could start buying. Now, all of a sudden, you've got more room to play with. So now your target will be, right, roughly 36 pips, okay? So if I move the stop loss down 36 pips now, this is a stop loss I'm far more comfortable with, right? All of a sudden, I can put my stop loss down here. So that is what I'm thinking about before I even enter a trade, right? And guys, there are so many tutorials like this, right, about entries, managing trades, trade management, support and resistance levels within the VIP Trading Academy. So please come join it. You can, there's loads of bloody tutorials in there. All right, and this is just a little sample of it, and this is what I would be looking at to enter CAD yen. They're your options, so to speak. All right, guys, and on that note, thank you very much. I really enjoyed the live stream today, guys. Loads of great questions. Please don't forget to join me again tomorrow, and we can do this all again. Yeah, get all your questions over to me. Same time tomorrow, guys. And please go check out the website, join the free Discord, and check out the Pepperstone promotion. It's all in the video description. Okay, see you tomorrow, guys.